We're going to talk about Michigan with their sign stealing. But even before that, I just want to give a shout out to them because they're 23 point, like they have 23, not their 23-point underdogs, but they're 23-point overdogs over Iowa
So they the
Hawkeyes.
favorites. So they the favorites. Okay.
Yeah, they the favorites, and that's 23 points. Like that's big time. So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen this game. You know what I'm saying? Because like 23 points, that's nothing to sniff at. Like that's for
I,
real.
I don't see them winning by 23 points. I don't see them covering.
Oh, you don't see
Now,
them go?
no, no. Now, if this was pre Spygate or sign stealing, I could give you that. But
Huh?
now, nah, yo, because and this is the thing, man, because the last Michigan video we did, you had a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, there's people aficionados are saying there's not really an advantage when it comes to sign stealing and everything like that. But I beg to differ because when you look at their record before these past 3 years, they was mediocre at best. Like Kevin Samuel said, they were average at best. You feel me? And if I'm not too sure, Jim Harbaugh was pretty much on his way out the door. You feel
Yeah,
me?
well,
Like
that's what
they,
it looked like.
yeah, because they was 8-8, and like they had some pretty mediocre seasons
But wait,
for the
wasn't it you that
longest.
said? Wasn't it you that said somebody, an alumni said that he started
Yeah,
bringing in college coaches? So that
yes,
was a
and
you gave a reason for that though.
that I did give a reason, but then I had to step back and look at things because um they were blowing teams out, blowing
Yeah,
teams out.
after.
The last three games that they played since this thing was unraveled and their coach wasn't there and everything like that, what happened? They was winning, but it was very close games. It looked like NFL scores because college scores be 45 to
Hmm.
57, like it'd be mad high. It looked like literally NFL scores.
So wait, what you saying?
What I'm saying is, to me, that shows that you was benefiting because if you was blowing these teams out, and now that we swept the rug from up under you, and now you're not as dominant as you were, that tells me, like my eye test tell me that you was benefiting. People could say, oh well, look at the quality of the competition
That's exactly
with
what I was about to
Penn
say.
State, but who did they play? Maryland. Maryland's not a powerhouse.
No, nah.
They're not a
They're,
powerhouse. Then
they're
that
they're
was a
unranked. They're
yeah,
unranked.
then that was a close game. They didn't blow them out.
Nah,
Exactly.
but
So to me, go
mhm,
ahead.
they
Go
blew
ahead.
Purdue out.
But that was
That was
before
with him,
the
right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
The last
Jack, they
three
blew
games.
everybody out.
Yeah, exactly. The rug got pulled under them when they played Penn State, Maryland, and Ohio.
Mich- oh yeah, yeah,
My,
yeah. Ohio State.
yep, those are the three games that they since everything was uncovered and Jim Harbaugh couldn't be on the sideline. Those are the three games that all of this happened. And just so happened they're not, running over teams
But all right, let's
anymore.
say they blow Iowa out, right? Let's say they
Yeah.
just blow them out when he comes back. What would you say? Well, because it won't be the sign. It won't really be the signs. It may be his presence elicits something in them, right? Nah.
It could be his presence elicits something in them. It could be his coaching might motivate them or spark them where they want to prove everybody wrong. So I could get that. But
You
as
don't
of
think
right
that's gonna
now, man,
happen?
yeah, here's what's gonna be the real litmus test to tell me that they didn't benefit from this. Even if they blow Iowa out, right?
Mhm.
I want to see the next couple of years if you continue that trend of blowing teams out the way that you were. If you can continue that trend, you got me there. You basically told me you didn't really get no benefits or no real competitive advantage from Stein sign stealing.
I get that. It
But it even goes to this, man, because we was talking about this the other day. Look at the Patriots.
Oh,
Once it was unraveled that the Patriots did their Spygate thing, it was a good amount of years, like 7 to 8 years, before they actually started winning Super Bowls again.
8 years, because it was
Yeah,
oh
so
07 that happened, right? It was with
mhm.
it was
They
in
lost the Super Bowl
2015.
to the Giants. Yep, they lost the Super Bowl to the Giants. So it's no way you can't tell me that you don't get a competitive advantage when it's sign steal. And everybody's like, well, you could watch game fill, this, that, and the third. But we discussed it, man.
That's
If
different.
if I'm queuing in on the quarterback and just focusing on what he's doing, so that can tells me his tendencies when he's calling audibles, his mannerism, all of that goes into play. See, from the TV view, it's scanning all over and it's showing a wide lens. But if I have my camera and these Galaxy phones now, yo, you could freaking look up to the moon with the way the zoom is. So you mean to tell me you can't zoom in and get like that extra perk of details and nuances? Like, I don't know. Maybe you think differently, but I see it as you get an advantage, man.
No, I'm saying if they're making it such a big deal, obviously, and they made it like something you can't do, it obviously is a great advantage. Because why else would they hype it up like that if it
See,
wasn't
but
an advantage?
somebody in the comment section was like, "Oh, other teams are cheating, this, that, and the third." I kind of challenged the commentator, the commenter, because he was like, Iowa was caught stealing signs too, whatever. But then when I looked it up, it was like they was absolved from it. They saw no signs of cheating. So that's the thing. Like, I
That was
I
this year?
listened. No, the last video that we did,
No, I'm
a
saying
person,
Iowa.
yeah, it was this year or earlier this year or something. And when I
Okay.
looked it up, it was like, yo, they weren't guilty of it. They were exonerated. So that's what I'm saying. People love to say, yo, do your research, this, that, and the third, and they say what they say as it's facts. And then when you look it up or you challenge them, like, yo, show me your source. I don't see nothing of these sources. You feel me?
Of
So
course.
the thing is, it's like if all these other teams are cheating, why is it not being exposed? It should be easy to expose these teams that are cheating. All I know is this is the information that's given to me. We're not an ESPN. You know what I mean? We go by the information that is provided. You feel me?
Exactly.
So if the information is provided, I'm gonna speak on it and I'm gonna give my opinion on it. And that's what we do here. We give our opinions. But for me, in my opinion, when I look at their track record the last 3 years, when they was doing this up to now, when they got hip to the game and can't do it, it's a dramatic change in their performance.
Uh,
So the
uh,
only way I can change my mind and say they didn't get a competitive advantage is if going forward these next couple of years, they show the same dominance that they have been doing. And I listened to what's that dude's name? I can't remember his name. Paul Feinbaum. Even Paul Feinbaum, and we know he's a college aficionado. He's like, yo, it wasn't up until 3 years ago that Michigan started dominating. And everybody was like, wow, because he was like, Jim Harbaugh was ready to be out of there, and they just started dominating. And even he's
yeah.
looking at it like, yeah, they're not dominating teams anymore. So my eye tests tell me different, you know?
Yeah, but they went from trash to like all of that. And what I'm wondering is that dude who was cheating, I forgot his name. Not cheating, but the one that was caught recording, filming the signals.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. It start with an S.
Stallion.
Yeah, Stallion, Connor
When
Stallion.
when did he come on board? Like was
That's a
he
good question. Look it up real quick.
You said it's Connor Stallion?
Connor Stallion, yeah. Just look it up. When did Connor Stallion join Michigan Wolverine? That's a good question, yo. I never even thought about that. I never thought about that. If they say 3 years ago, like, come on.
Nah, it was recent. In May 2022, Stallions 5-year commitment to the. Oh no, that's not even it. That's the Marine Corps. That's when it ended. So
Okay.
it's looking like it's looking like it's all right. In a lengthy text exchange. Yeah, they're not really going in detail. They're just saying when he ended his Marine Corps. And I put
Okay.
Michigan.
Oh
I'll
wow.
get it.
Okay.
I'll get it for us.
Yeah,
So I
we
can,
we yeah we gonna need to figure that out. Like when did he join? But yeah, that's kind of serious, man. Like wow, that's a good question. I never even thought about that. So that's something to definitely look into. But again, man, you can't tell me the Patriots didn't benefit because it was 8 years that they went without winning the Super Bowl, and we knew they was there every year,
no,
like in the
10
Super
years.
Bowl, just
They
about.
actually went 10 years because you got to figure they beat the Eagles with McNabb back in 2005. And
Yeah,
then the
yeah,
next time they won it was against Seattle in 2015.
yeah. But in 2007, when they played the Giants, that was when all the like everything was being brought to light, and that was the year that they went undefeated
But that all right, so
and
that's the
lost.
year. So that's the year coach
Randy
how do you call
Moss was on there.
I'm thinking about the Jets coach. How do you call him? You know,
Rex Ryan.
not right. It wasn't right.
Rex.
It was the one who ratted on him, who said, "Hey, I
Oh
was on
yeah,
your
yeah,
staff."
yeah, yeah. Eric
Um,
Mangini.
yes, Mangini. Now,
Yep.
so wait, Mangini ratted on him in 2007.
Because he was like, "Yo, man, I know you do your thing, but just don't do it to us." And he
Yo, the
literally did
arrogance.
it.
But
Yeah.
that's arrogance to
Yes.
know he knows you're doing it and you still did it.
Yep.
It
Yep.
ruined. They could have probably won like 8 more championships. But come on, yo, he's wilding. See, but it
Yeah.
proves that it was an advantage because if somebody tell me, "Hey, I was on your squad and I know how you cheat. If you cheat, I'm going to rat you out." For me to still cheat, that mean I needed it. It was an
Yeah.
advantage to me. Because why else would you do it? Why else would you put yourself in that situation? I think it was a $500,000 fines and this and that. And it's like, why? Why would you take that? It's an
Yeah.
advantage.
Exactly. And this is why I say, like, Michigan need to get the hammer slammed on them because if
Mm.
you want this to stop, you got to give them the 5-year ban. And it's like, oh, so you're gonna cripple uh um what is it? What they call 10 ranked program in the nation. Like that's gonna mess up the economy, this, that, and the third. I'm like, miss me with that because I hear hospitals get shut down. I never hear a major college program being shut down.
Yeah, but
America has a America has a way of bailing these institutions out.
here's the thing though. And I'm just using a hypothetical because I really don't know. Let's
Hmm.
say that the other programs in the Big Ten, they're cheating also. And let's say they understand or heard talk that they are cheating. So why would they attack Michigan like that if Michigan knows, like, yo, these other programs are cheating? And if you try to dig anything up on me, if you try to punish me for 5 years, I want everybody to get that same treatment. That will hurt college football big time.
It would hurt college football unless they're like, yo, we caught you. We don't have nothing on these other programs. We're going to make an example so that going forward, if these programs are caught cheating, this is what's going to happen to you.
I mean,
Like,
that's
you know what I
tough.
mean? Like, I get what you're saying with the part of ratting everybody out or whatever, and it could cause a domino effect. But
Hmm.
if you want to avoid that domino effect because you know it can hurt the league, period, then you're just going to take the route of the one that we caught. We're going to make you suffer, and going forward, if we catch anybody else, we'll make you suffer. Because at the end of the day, the bottom line does matter. It does matter. So if I can just because let's look at it realistically too. They
Hmm.
got they got betting on the line, all of this stuff that plays into it. So if a team is cheating, that's gonna hurt their bottom line even more. Like if word get out, like, yo, Don't even worse betting on college football, man, because they're full of cheaters. That's gonna hurt them too. Sponsors, all of that.
See, I don't know how true this is, but from what they're saying is the reason when Jim Harbaugh just took his 3-game suspension, they left it alone because there was a lot being dug up. So I wonder if they left it alone like intentionally.
Who left it alone? Who left it alone?
Didn't the NCAA leave it alone?
No. What happened was Michigan was putting an appeal to challenge the NCAA. And the NCAA sent the Michigan evidence that one of their coaches were trying to were interrupting the investigation by deleting texts and like speaking about the investigation to others or whatever. So he was impeding the investigation.
Okay.
So they sent, that was the proof that they sent or whatever. And the last Michigan video we did, somebody was talking, like a commenter said something, and I posted that link, and I think I pinned that conversation in that conversation that we had in that video. So the link is in there, and that coach wind up getting fired, and Michigan, they dropped their appeal because they're like, okay, yeah, clearly they got evidence or whatever, this, that, and the third, because they sent them evidence, and they sent evidence about that particular coach was impeding the investigation.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know anything about the NCAA dropping their investigation. I didn't hear nothing about that, but I definitely know.
So they're still being investigated.
From the last article I read, yes. Could that have changed by now? Maybe, because they're saying it's only like a level 2 violation or something, and usually it's a couple of games that you get suspended for. I'm saying if you want to nip this in the butt, give them the 4 or 5 year ban. That has nothing to do with NCAA. I'm saying that based off what that commentator said when we did the video talking about, yo, this commentator said, give them a ban, yada, yada. Yeah, the commentator said, yo, give them a ban, this, that, and the third. I agreed with what he said, and I'm like, yo, that makes sense. In my opinion, if the NCAA really want to nip this in the butt, that's what you do. If you don't want to nip it in the butt and you want to let it carry on, then stop bringing it up on Front Street. Let it continue to go as it is, and stop making it big headline news for college football.
Now, but you don't think, do you think part of this is because they are who they are, because Michigan is so good, it's a lot of jealousy? Like, do you feel that's part of why people are trying to come at them? Like, not just part. Do you think that's the main reason people are really coming at them, off of jealousy and hate?
No. The reason why I say that is because up until 3 years ago, they were mediocre.
Yeah, but now they're great. So
yeah, people can be coming at them. People can be coming at them because of hate and jealousy. Because let's face it, if you're winning in dominant fashion, you are going to make all the blue chip 5-star recruits want to go to your program.
Yes, sir.
So it's like, yo, I could have had that talent, and I'm doing this on the up and up, but you're cheating and you got this talent.
True.
So jealousy could play a role in it. I could see that. But am I mad at it? Absolutely not. Because I look at it as if you was a competitor and the person you was going against cheated, you ain't gonna be hating, even though you lost. You're gonna feel salty.
Nah, even that point you made up, and I was thinking about it. If I was going against somebody, let's say whatever, in any competition, physical appearance, physical strength, whatever, and they are juicing, yes, I in my heart, I will. And we had that conversation. I'm not gonna feel like you beat me. I'm gonna understand you beat me, but I'm not gonna feel like you beat me. I'm gonna feel like if it was fair, I would have beat you.
You would have won. Like, so in other words, you're not gonna respect it like that.
Nah. So that's why I remember when we was talking on it. It's not just I won't respect it. I will be PO, like I will be tight about it, because other people's gonna think you're better than me, when in fact you had to you had to cheat to be better than me. So I'd have
Yeah,
massive problems. I used to hate the Patriots for that. That whole Spygate, Deflategate. I'm like, yo, y'all already that good and y'all sitting here cheating? I hated it.
yeah,
But then you
yep,
see even with Deflategate, right?
yeah,
Second half, what happened? They piped on the Colts had no chance
yeah,
after the balls was
yeah,
regular. So, and I think the Colts was I don't remember if the Colts was up, but second half they came back and whooped them. And it was like, then
yeah.
why did y'all need to cheat for? Like, what was the point
Exactly,
in doing that?
exactly, exactly. And that's the thing. Even though you were that good, you're still gonna have people that undermine your greatness because you still took those extra measures to certify your win.
Do do we
No
do
matter
we do we
do
take some do we take anything away from Tom Brady though? Because he was benefiting from this cheating. So do we take anything from him?
we don't take anything away from them because even with them like when like because they won Super Bowls after that, after those things happened, they still won. Now, needless to say, they weren't as dominant, but that could have went towards Brady getting older.
Yeah, but how
But
do we
with
know they
that,
wasn't
but
cheating after that? How do we
we
know they
don't
weren't
know.
cheating? Like, okay,
We don't know because think about it. If you're a criminal and you get caught and you figure, yo, I'm not gonna be a criminal no more. You're just gonna
uh-huh.
stop cold turkey, or you're gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna be more slick so I don't get caught. I'm gonna still be a criminal or still be a thief doing what I was doing. I'm just gonna be smoother with it so I don't get caught.
But let's
Those are
say
the
you
only two
rob.
options.
But let's say
Go
you
ahead.
rob banks, right? And
Uh huh.
let's say I rob banks and I get caught and whatever, and I was making a lot of money. I was riding around in Maybachs, I was stunting this and that. And then I get caught, I get locked up, and I'm broke for like 2, 3 years. And let's say 8 years later, I have a mansion, I have a Ferrari. You're gonna just think like, dang, he did it the legit way. I'm gonna get that respect, or you gonna
If
think,
you
hey, he's
if
back
you
at
used to rob if you used to rob banks, I'm gonna think you were still robbing banks. Shout out to
it.
Mitch Channel in the building. What's up? Um,
How
I'm
y'all
gonna think
doing?
you still. I mean, I'm gonna think you still robbed banks. In actuality, I'm be like, yo, he was robbing banks. Yeah, he still was probably robbing banks, you know. But at the end of the day, he went to another organization and still won.
Yeah, but he had an all-star squad. Like his receivers was top tier. It was how they
He's
call him Winston. What's his name? The quarterback that they got rid of?
uh
Winston. It was him
huh.
who you get for the Bucks. He was the problem. He
Yeah.
was doing throwing 100 picks a year, and he was the problem. So they figured if we get rid of him and put someone who don't turn the ball over, we're good. And what happened? They got Tom Brady the GOAT. Of course, like he didn't have like he had an all-star squad around him. Like all-star, his defense was unstoppable. Like he had everything he needed. So I can't really just give him all the credit. Like some people take credit away from Bill Belichick, and I'm like, you can't even do that because Bill Belichick had his quarterback. Tom Brady made him get rid of that quarterback. And it's like you made him get rid of that quarterback, and then you left him with nothing like no nothing in the cupboards, nothing. So it's like, how am I supposed to cook food when you took away my most important ingredient? So I don't give Tom Brady all that credit for going to the Bucks and winning. You had everything over there. That's why you went to the Bucks.
Then
So
if
I
that's the
can't give him.
case, if that's the case, we might as well not give Peyton Manning for his championship in Denver because
I
when he
mean,
went
he
to that
doesn't.
team, but everybody give him credit because when it come the unless you're a subpar quarterback, you're not going to get the credit. What do I mean by that? Like when Brad Johnson was on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and they whooped the Raiders. People are like, yo, that's because John Gruden literally just left the Raiders and he basically knew them like the back of his hand. That's why y'all blew the Raiders out. Y'all literally knew what their plays before they came out the huddle. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So Brad Johnson didn't get credit. What's the other quarterback that Shannon Sharp won in Baltimore? Nobody
Oh,
credited that quarterback. Um, I forgot his name, who the quarterback was, but they gave all that to the defense. They gave all the credit to the defense. But if you're an immaculate, Like, for instance, all the young weapons going into the season that people said the Jets had on offense and that stout defense. If Aaron Rodgers would have played and they went to the Super Bowl and won, they would have gave Aaron Rodgers the credit. They would have said, yo, they already had a stacked squad. They would have said, well, he should have won because the quarterback was throwing intercept. Nah, the quarterback, if you're a top tier quarterback, you're always gonna get that favoritism.
But see, that depends. Why? Because if Aaron Rodgers was having that terrible season he had, and then he went to the Jets, and the Jets had to carry him, he ain't getting the respect. When Peyton Manning came to us, that first year, he broke records. I think he threw 50 touchdowns. He broke records. But then the next year, he did nothing. He was even benched.
Yeah, he was mediocre. Yeah,
but
he was mediocre.
So it's like he's getting. So he didn't get the credit for our Super Bowl. What it was said was Von Miller and our defense carried him to that Super Bowl. He didn't get respect for that.
He did because he still made key plays when needed. Come on, man. We know Peyton Manning. That's a good old boy. Like,
I'm saying, we didn't give him no credit. Y'all think I've given him credit.
Y'all didn't, but the popular consensus of the population is looking at it as Peyton Manning got 2 Super Bowl rings. That's a 2-time champion.
Yes. No, yes. He definitely get that. But he doesn't get the, like Tom Brady. Some people give Tom Brady the credit for going to the Buccaneers and like he's the one that lifted them up. And it was like they had a squad. It was Jameis Winston who was just being a bum. Like, no offense to Jameis Winston, but he was the one, like, you just throwing like 30, 40 picks a game. Like, I mean, not a game, a season. And it's like, what are you doing? Tom Brady, come on.
But there's other things that's come into play too, man. Like, reading the defenses, knowing like calling the audibles to put the receivers in the right position
with Tom Brady?
Smash that defense. Yeah, with Tom Brady. So even though don't get it twisted, Tom Brady being the quarterback definitely like made a huge difference with the offense.
But
like, he made a huge difference, even though they had because think about it. Remember that Philly team that they had the all-star squad and Mike Vick was at the helm? They got Nnamdi Asomugha, all these stars on the Eagles, and they did trash that year. They sucked. They was terrible. So that's what I'm saying. Like, just because you have all the right talent doesn't mean you're going to win. Tom Brady just so happened was that great that he completed the ingredients that was there. He was like the Sazon that went on top of everything to give it that flavor. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to say, yo, he gets all the credit, but for me to say, like, I'll say he did play a major role, like how he helped the offense. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. But with that being said, it showed his genius, his genius too, because let me step back. The reason why Tom Brady got so much credit for that Super Bowl is because for the longest we was in debates of, is it more Belichick or is it more Brady? Is it the system or is it Brady? That's what the conversation was. So soon as he went over there and did it, it's like, okay, I see what Brady did. Belichick, I'm watching you now. What you gonna do?
But that's the issue I have, because if I had my quarterback and I said, I don't want you on my team, I have the quarterback that could win with the guys I have, and you make sure you get rid of that quarterback that I had.
Yes.
And now you couldn't win
with
the guys you couldn't win with the guys I had, but I feel like this quarterback can win. You get rid of them, and then you go to another squad with everything that I wish I had, and then you bring my system over there. People try to say it's Tom Brady's system. No, that's Belichick's system also. It's their system. He brought it over there, and they won. And it's like, but you're going to give Tom Brady all the respect and take all of it from Bill Belichick? How?
That's a good point, because I don't like, a lot of people are saying Belichick should get fired, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, Belichick shouldn't get fired on the strength that, like you said, you're absolutely right. He had Garoppolo, and we saw Garoppolo was doing good under Belichick. And you forced me to trade him. So that's on you as the owner.
There you
Now,
go.
if Brady left and I kept Garoppolo and I'm failing, you got me there. But if I handpicked Garoppolo and now you force my hands, and now that I'm losing and I had the quarterback I needed to to take over Brady's position, nah, you can't hold that against me. That's on you, the owner. You as the owner, if you're gonna be mad, I could always go back to, well, if I had the quarterback that I wanted that you made me trade, I would be in a better position.
I think
So
Robert
this is
Kraft
your
know
fault.
that. I think Robert
I know,
Kraft know
yeah.
that. That's
Facts.
why he's giving them his little respect, like here. But you know what? Belichick, he needs to demote him some though. Belichick shouldn't be, like they say, buying the groceries, because he does not know how to pick talent. He picks a
Yeah.
bunch of untalented people. I can't say that. They're all talented, to be honest, but he just picks people that don't work within his system. And it's annoying
And
me. But hey,
you know what else too? Let me just say this last part and we'll switch gears. It's a new generation of football players who they want to feel ingratiated with their coaches, with the owners and stuff like that. He
mhm,
has that old school mentality where it's like, yo, I'm the coach. I don't have to associate with you.
mhm.
If I keep my distance, I can get rid of you out of a drop of a dime. That doesn't work in today's football. Why do you think Tom Coughlin, when he went to the Giants, he had to change his approach? Because he was under that same Belichick coaching branch.
Oh, he
So
changed it?
when he went to the Giants, he changed it and started making it friendly and more uppity. Because Strahan pulled him to the side and was like, yo, you can't be treating these players like this. You got to show that, you're actually ingratiated. You got to relate to these players, and now they're going to respond and go out, feel like they could ram their head through a truck for you.
Is
And
that fake
that's what
news
he
or
did.
Strahan really told him that?
No, that was the conversation. Strahan
Okay.
literally said this. And once
Okay.
Tom Coughlin stopped being as strict and actually getting to know the players and ingratiating himself, that's
Mhm.
when you saw the Giants went on to win the Super Bowl and all of that stuff. So that does matter. And that people are saying the way Belichick's approach is, that needs to change in today's football, with the way social media and everything is like that. So yeah.
Well, look, before you take us to the end season tournament, let me just say, with what you just said, then that means Tom Brady had a larger part in that than Bill Belichick, because he accepted it as with who he was. He
Yeah.
accepted all of that yelling and this and that, and he didn't say
Uh-huh.
anything. Big up to him. I got to give him respect
Facts.
there.
Facts. I agree. All right. We're gonna talk about the NBA play-in tournament. So we all know now it's going to the quarterfinals, right?
Mhm.
And there was a lot of tiebreakers. And for those of you who don't know, with the NBA play-in tournament, the way you move on to the next round, if there is a tiebreaker, is by point differential. So what you
Mhm.
saw the last NBA playing games, you saw teams running up the score so that they could move on to the next round. So here's my question to you: with the NBA doing this, because when the game is over, they put their benches in and all this, and it's like garbage time.
Mhm.
What we saw was teams was trying to run up the score and going hard. We don't care if we blowing you out. We still gonna try and drop 30, 40 on your head. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's what you saw what was going on. Do you think that hurts the league, or it adds extra spice to it?
Well, look, I'm not my mother. When I watch soccer with her, if the other team's getting blown out, if it's her team blown out the other team,
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh, I feel bad. I want them to score at least a goal or two." And I'm like, "What are you saying?" And she's like, "Yeah, but I don't want them to be losing 5-0." I'm like, "Mom, like, please knock that off." And I'm not that person. I want
yeah.
to beat you 10-0. With basketball, it makes it more exciting. If you're getting spanked by 20 points, hey, if you bring the bench in, tell the bench, yo, I want y'all, I will buy y'all pizza. I will throw a party for y'all if y'all can beat them by 40 points. I would want the score. I'd want a blowout so they could know how dominant we are. Some people are scared because they don't want to seem too dominant, so people
It's
don't
not
come at them too.
professionalism and
Don't care
all of
about
that
that.
stuff.
I don't care about that. Even with like little leagues, like when my nephew's playing sports and this and that, and they try to have that friend, I forgot what they call it. I don't care for that. It's like let them know where they're at. Let them know they need to step their game up more. Blow them out.
Facts.
That's how I feel. Blow
Facts.
them out. What you
Yes.
think? What you think though?
I always had the mentality, yo, if we
Don't
gonna
say it.
do this, I'm gonna beat you to submission.
Yes, exactly.
I'm gonna beat you to submission. That's how it is.
Hmm.
But on the opposite end, when you look at the professionalism of it, people look at it as that's dirty. That's
It's
dirty because the game you already won the game. You know, it's kind of like in MMA. If you already got the guy knocked out, why keep pounding him? It's like, yo, stop right there. The
but
referee call it
that's
quits with it.
dangerous
But
though.
that yeah, it is dangerous. But yeah, like because now at this point in that garbage time, you're risking your main players getting hurt. You know, all of these things. You're missing your a possibility of a brawl breaking out because players are that much in their feelings. And I get it, you got to be professional. It is what it is, but we are human at the end of the day. Testosterone levels is high, and it can cause people to react in ways where you'll be like, yo, like I didn't think I was going to take it there, but I was just in my feelings at that time and emotions was running high. So as much as I would love to beat somebody to submission, it's like, dude, at the end of the day, like you still got to be professional about it.
But wait,
You
why
still
though?
got
Because I gotta ask you, because what you're saying is that person don't know how to contain themselves. They don't know how to control their emotions. So I have to deliver it better for them. Like, no, you need to be more professional. If my bench is busting your cheeks, what you need to do is you need to learn. You need to tell your players to control their emotions. Right now, they're going to pipe up on us. So calm down. I don't need any of y'all getting wild. I don't need any fights because y'all going to be suspended for the next game. Calm down. That's going to help them become better professionals. Just because you're getting blown out and the bench players are practicing their game, they can't even practice. They can't even try to practice against live competition because you're not professional enough to take this whooping I'm about to bestow upon you. That's crazy to me. Like that's ridiculous.
all right.
I,
I look at it. I look at it as when I'm raising my kids, right?
okay.
If my kid is winning and he's gloating and everything like that, I'm like, yo, I
That's
want you to
good.
have that same energy if
When
you're
you're
losing.
losing.
And now when you're losing, you got your panties in a bunch and you're ready to cry and this, that, and the third. So I'm like, yo, if this is how you feel when you lose, then do you think it's fair for you to act this way when you're
When you're
winning?
winning. No.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I understand the professionalism that the other team should be professional, but at the same time, I can't control the other people's emotions. What I can do on my end is try to de-escalate it as a professional best that I can. It's kind of like if I'm running a restaurant or something or a store and the customer don't know how to control their emotions because they're not getting what they want and they come at me yelling and all of this stuff, me as the professional, they should be professional with the way they carry themselves in my establishment. I need to be professional the way I carry myself. So if I see them acting belligerent and stuff, I need to be a professional and figure out how to de-escalate this. Because at the end of the day, although it may bring business to my establishment, because people will be like, yo, I like how he handled it. It's no nonsense. But I think the greater constituents of people will be like, yo, that's how you act professional. That's your professionalism, yada, yada. Nah, I don't like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you're as much as people will love it, if something was to happen, will you love it then? If a brawl happened, will you love it then? So yes, it's good in the moment, but I think you're setting yourself up for bigger problems in the future that may can escalate. That's all I'm saying.
But what I'm trying to say is why can't my bench get that practice? Why can't my bench come in and try to win, like score and try? Like I want them to try these things because if my players get hurt, I need them to have that practice. But because you may not be able to handle your emotions, we have to let the game die down.
See, if you bringing in your bench, that's not telling the other team you're trying to destroy them because they are like we understand the bench players don't play as much. They're trying at the end of the day, they're still playing for a contract. So of course they're gonna go all their way. But I'm talking you leaving your starters in
No, that's
and
no.
so that's what I'm saying. You leave your starters in and they clowning and this, that, and yo, that's where I'm like, yeah. Bringing your bench players in and they still carrying what the start. Nah, I have no problem with that. No problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah,
I have no argument on that. I'm not. Yeah, no argument. I agree with you on that.
but hit that
1000%.
subscribe button if you would leave your starters in and start spanking the other team even worse. Hit that subscribe. No, hit the
Don't
like.
get me
Hit the like
wrong.
for that.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It would
I
be
wouldn't do
great for
that.
TV. It would be great for TV.
Nah,
You feel me?
nah,
Like
you were right. That doesn't look good. If Steph Curry is still out there hot dogging and it's like, nah, that doesn't look right. Nah, let the backup players do that. That is entertaining for us, but not LeBron, not Steph. No.
You got to admit though, when Warriors did that 71-9 season, and they was letting the players coach on the sideline, that was entertaining. Like
that was. Yo, not only was it entertaining, that was just a shame. It was like, what? That was a shame. But you know what? They were that good. Wait, that was before Durant, right?
It was before? Yeah, it was before Durant. Yeah.
They were that good. And that's the team he joined. Wow.
Because the 71-9 Warriors, Durant joined after.
Wait, 71-9? Nah.
71-9. Yes, it was set. That was the year that
they
lost to the Cleveland.
Right? Because it's 82 games, right?
Yeah, sorry, 73-9. My bad. Yeah, my numbers is off. Yeah, 73-9. You're right. Thanks for that correction. Yeah. Yeah, they were that good. They were that good, man, because they would have beat the Bulls' record if they won.
No, but okay, wait.
Because the Bulls was 72-10.
Okay.
When they won. Yeah. They would have beat
and
the
the Bulls
record.
Did win the championship, right?
Yes, they finished the season. And that was the same thing with New England when they was 18-0, but they lost to the Giants. So it's like, yeah, you did the regular season undefeated, but you ain't get that chip. So it's all for nothing.
So it's for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So
is that it?
Yeah, we're gonna switch gears to the last subject of the day. Stephen A. Smith and Malika Andrews. They've been in the news quite a lot. And when I say in the news, I'm talking social media space, YouTube space, amongst us, the people. And all this rhetoric is trickling down now to ESPN and all these big sports outlets. What am I talking about? The way they were so hush-hush on the Josh Giddey situation. And pretty much the consensus of the population was like, yo, why aren't these two people who, whenever a black athlete or whoever something happens, they'll give their opinion, they'll point it out, the whole nine. So why aren't we seeing the same thing when it comes to Josh Giddey? So with all the blowback that was going on and everything like that, he took it to his platform to give a PSA to everybody. Do you have that clip, June? Ready?
I didn't, but I'll get it. Keep talking about it.
All right. Pretty much he came with everybody saying, yo, why aren't they speaking about Josh Giddey? Malika Andrews came out and gave it looked like she was reading from a teleprompter, pretty much laissez-faire reporting of the Josh Giddey situation. And it seemed like the reason why she did it was because of the blowback that she was receiving. And Stephen A. came out and was like, oh, I'm not talking about it because there's not enough information, yada, yada, all of this stuff. That's what Stephen A. said. But yet people still was going in because they're like, yo, this makes no sense because there's other cases that there wasn't enough information, but yet you still put it on Front Street. So with that being said, it prompts Stephen A. to come out with another video where he was actually defending Malika Andrews and himself, so to speak. So he started talking about, you know, the legalities of the situation and why they can't speak on it, all of this. But here's that clip of what Stephen A. said.
All right.
That what I'm about to get into, I usually don't get involved with. I'm big on supporting my colleagues and protecting my colleagues. But in the same breath, I'm also big on minding my own damn business when it's called upon to do so. And I'm certainly not trying to deviate from that in this particular situation. But there's a subject that I think demands participation from people in this industry, including myself. And that is this subject that's involving ESPN host Malika Andrews. Now, for those of you who may not know, and it's very few in the sports world who don't know at this particular moment in time, she's been getting some major heat, in particular from former NFL wide receiver Des Bryant for ignoring the situation involving or surrounding NBA player Josh Giddey of the Oklahoma City Thunder and the accusations of him having an inappropriate relationship with an underage girl. First things first, before I get even any further, let me tell you what Des Bryant had to say. Let me read that quote to you right now. Des Bryant tweets, Malika Andrews, you went out of your way to crucify Brandon Miller, the #2 overall pick of the Charlotte Hornets on draft day, over something he didn't even do, wrote Bryant. Why haven't you said nothing about Josh Giddey? I advise you not to make this a black or white thing. Your parents really raised you wrong, and just because you went to a private school don't make you better. You appeal, and I know you're kind. You're just a puppet. I don't know how a former or current NBA player could sit there across from you and look at you with some kind of respect. Let me say this.
Say it.
Des Bryant, I miss him. I miss Des Bryant because I loved watching him as a wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys for those 8 years he was there before he suffered that injury and came back and tried to resume his career in Baltimore, and that didn't work out. I respect you, my brother, but that was a bit extreme. You see, without trying to get too involved in it, I feel compelled to get involved because I think that a lot of people are missing the issue involving Josh Giddey to begin with. Josh Giddey is being investigated for allegedly messing with an underage girl. We don't know the facts. And because we don't know the facts, and we represent a network, we have to make sure I's are dotted and T's are crossed before we provide commentary to that. The investigation is ongoing by the NBA. The Oklahoma City Thunder refuses to comment on it. Josh Giddey refuses to comment on it. And as a result, all we can keep doing is reminding everybody the brother being investigated. He's from Australia. He's being investigated for messing with an underage girl. That's problematic. And the NBA is investigating because next thing you know, they may take some heat because people may be asking them, what are you going to do about it? If this was the National Football League, chances are he would be put on a commissioner's exempt list where he wouldn't be allowed to play until the investigation was complete. So getting on Malika Andrews about this, I believe is off kilter. And it's a bit extreme, bringing up a parent's upbringing, some private school education. Come on, Des.
You can stop it there. All right. Pretty much, right? Wasn't all the information not out when it came to Ime Udoka? When she had that back and forth with Kendrick Person, didn't she say, we don't know all the details here? And she said, oh, we will not try to put women or on this or whatever, or not try to, blame women, yada, yada, this, that, and the third. She said this without any of the full information coming out. She was stern on where she stood. Stephen A. Smith, just a couple of months ago, when the report came out with Kevin Porter Jr. with the Rockets, there's still an investigation going on then. He had no problem saying, if this is true, he needs to be out of the league. Keywords, if this is true. So they showed a history of putting in their 2 cents when it comes to stories or whatever the case may be, and it's still being investigated. The problem is that It took the cry of the people to basically force your hands to speak on it. And you literally just said in that video, it is our job to remind you. You didn't remind us.
Mm.
We're hearing all this from social media and people that are doing their own investigation. We're not hearing this on ESPN or the major sports networks. And I understand he's like, yo, we work with a business entity, so we can't do whatever. Okay. Don't you have your own show on YouTube, the Stephen A. Smith Show? What's wrong with what I'm saying? Has nothing to do with ESPN. I'm not speaking for them. This is what I think. And you don't, and nobody was saying for you to crucify them. All people were saying was, why did you not mention it? The only time you mentioned it was when there was public cry, and it showed how you wasted no time when it comes to a black athlete to point it out. But when something happened with the white counterpart, nobody's saying nothing. Brett Favre allegedly stealing funds from Mississippi or whatever, allegedly. Nobody says nothing. Swept under the rug. So that's the main problem that the people are having. And this is why the last video that we did, I literally said, this chick is a coon. For that reason. And that's what the general population is seeing, and they're calling it out. That's my thoughts on it. What's your thoughts, brother?
I mean, what you just said kind of changed my thoughts a little bit, but I understood what he was saying, and maybe I was being manipulated, but I was like, oh, maybe they have to handle it like that as far as journalists, because something he said was, I forgot which situation. He said she had to ask it because when they went to Charlotte, they're the Bible Belt, whatever, and it's like that made sense where she has to ask this as a journalist. It's not saying I agree with what I'm asking, but I need to ask these questions so there's stories that can be made. My only issue is you don't have to ask certain things that go against your, like, against what you stand for. Like, if you don't stand for anything, you, like they say, you're gonna fall for everything. So I have an issue there. But if that's the job they want, if that's what they're aspiring to be, to feed their families, hey, do what you got to do, say what you got to say. You don't have to be real. Like, you could be fake, but accept my co-host calling you a coon. Accept it.
Yes.
Like, accept all the backlash you get. Accept it. Like, I said what I said about Josh Giddey, and there was a reason I was saying it. I'm like, I'm not gonna blame him for what he did. I'm not gonna look down on him. And matter of fact, I don't see it as wrong as some of the things people are trying to force on me. And I'm gonna accept all of the hate I get. That's you know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and cry like he just cried. Like, he's sitting here complaining, oh, you Des Bryant of the world. Hey, we have the right to say what we feel about what you said, about what you do. How when it's a black person, you just attack them. We have that right. That's a right we have. And I feel like even though I understood what he was saying, yes, there's going to be a population that don't like that. Just like LeBron James, some love him, some hate him, but you got to accept it. And I feel like I do agree with what he said to an extent, but at the end of the day, I don't disagree with what any of y'all say, any of us say. I don't disagree with that. Period.
There's the last point that I'll just add in, and we'll wrap this up. All we're saying is, all you had to do was just say, hey, this is what's going on. I'll reserve my comments for when more facts come out.
That's it.
And as days go on, hey, we still have no update on the Josh Giddey situation. That's all you had to say.
That's it.
It at least let us know you're on top of it. We don't hear nothing. And that's the problem. With that being said, brother, look, I enjoyed this conversation, man. Loved it 1,000%, for real. I guess we'll discuss in the later or what days we're gonna keep the live going or whatever, like what, because there's a new segment that we're looking to add to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, to do lives during the day like this between 9 and 9:30, and if it go over like how it did today, then it goes over, but the cutoff time is 10 o'clock. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button, share this video, like this video, ladies and gentlemen, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section. We would love to hear your take on this. With that being said, June, my brother, the Rewatch crew, everybody, We will catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.